Hello children, welcome back to our EVS class. So last class we studied about weathers and seasons. So now we are going to a new lesson and the lesson name is, I am not telling the name. After completing the lesson we can understand what is the name for the lesson. So you can see in the picture, in the first picture a boy is sitting and a fan is there. It is not working now, it is still. Third picture, the children, they are flying kites, and next picture you can see a man is walking in the windy day. He is walking, the wind is blowing very heavily, you can see his umbrella. Then the last picture, a tree in the heavy wind. So you have to say in the given pictures, which pictures showing the presence of air. In these pictures we can see the presence of air. In which picture? We can see the presence of air. So in first picture the boy is simply sitting in his seat. Can we see any change in, or so can we see the presence of air here? No, we can't see any presence. So no. Then second picture, the fan. The fan is not moving. If it is moving, we can say we can see the presence of air. It is not moving. So we can't say we can't see the presence of air. So here also there is no presence of air. Third picture, the children are flying kites. So only in the presence of air the kites will fly. So in the third picture we can see the presence of air. So put a tick. Then next picture, a man is walking and along with him an umbrella is there, and from the picture itself we can understand he is walking in the presence of a heavy wind. So here also we can see the presence of air. Then the last picture, a tree is in heavy wind. So here also we can see the presence of air from the picture. So in the above pictures, in the given pictures, in the third picture, fourth one and fifth one, that means the children are flying kites, then a man is walking in a windy weather, and then a tree is, and here we can see the leaves are flying in the wind. So in these three pictures we can see the presence of air. So today's our topic is about air. So what is the main use of air? What is the main use of air? What we are breathing all the time. We all know that we are breathing in every moment. We are breathing air every moment. So that is the main use of air for breathing. And there are another uses also. So if you are simply standing also, air is around us. Air is present everywhere. So that is the first point. Air is present all around us. Can we see air? No, we cannot see air. Can we smell it? There is no smell for air, but when we are using any perfumes, at that time the perfume will mix with air. So that is why we can feel the smell. And then how we can feel, how we can understand that air is there? So we have to take your palm, and simply blow on it. So at that time we can feel the air. So we can only feel it, we cannot see it, it having no smell, but we can feel it. We need air to live. That means for breathing air is very essential. We need air to live. Then clean and fresh air is good for health. So the clean and fresh air. So the plants are actually purifying the air. So that clean and fresh air, it's very good for health. So here also you can see the pictures. So in the first picture you can see a man is riding a motorbike. So you can see his dress is flying in the wind. So he can understand that he can feel the wind. Then when you are driving at that time also, when you are cycling or when you are sitting back in a motorbike, at that time you can feel the air. So we cannot see or smell it, we can feel it. And other properties, it is present everywhere. We need air to live, and clean and fresh air is very good for health. So that is the basic things about air. One more time, air is present all around. Everywhere air is there. And it is very essential for living. That means we use air for breathing. So we need air to live. Then, can we see the air? No. Can we smell it? No. There is no smell for air. We cannot see or smell it. We can feel it. So if it is very hot, at that time we are using purpose and we are doing like that. At that time we can feel air. And when we are blowing to our hands, at that time also we can feel air. So we can only feel air. We need air to live, and clean and fresh air is good for health. So now we can check air is all around us. How we can understand that? Air is all around us. We can see an empty glass here. Empty glass. Is it empty actually? Yes, we cannot see anything inside. But air is present inside the glass. We can't see air, that's why air is present inside the glass. So wherever space is there, air will go and occupy there. So air occupies space. So air is all around us. Air occupies empty spaces. If glass is an example for a glass, it is empty. It is nothing inside the glass, but air is present there. Then in the second picture is a picture of a tire. So that tire, inside the tire also air is filled. Then last one is a balloon. So this is a balloon. So what is inside the balloon? Inside the balloon air is there. So if you are opening it, what we can see? The air is going outside and the balloon size will decrease. You can see here, I am going to release the air from the balloon. At that time you can see the balloon's size is decreasing, and we can understand that the air occupies the space inside the balloon. Inside the balloon there is space, and when we blowing into the balloon, at that time the size of the balloon will increase and the balloon will occupy the air. Then, so air is all around us. It occupies empty spaces. Next is air has any color? Can we see any color for air? No, it's having no color. Then having any taste? Air having any taste? When we are breathing in, can we feel any special taste for air? No. Is there any particular smell? No. When we are preparing food item or when we are using any perfume, at that time that smell will mix with the air. At that time we can feel it. Otherwise air has no smell. So air has no color, no taste or no smell. So then how we can understand? We can feel it only. We can feel it when it moves. Moving air helps to many things. The air has many properties, and if it is moving, at that time it is known as wind. If the air is moving, at that time it is known as wind. Moving air is called wind. Moving air helps boats to sail. You can see in the picture, it helps boats to sail for traveling. Then clothes to dry. Every day in our home we are doing this. For drying clothes, we are putting the clothes under the sunlight, and with the help of air also it will dry. And the children use air to fly the kites. So air has no smell, no taste and no color. We can feel it only. When we can feel it? When it moves. Moving air is known as wind. Then what are the main uses of moving air? How it will help us? It will help us to dry clothes, for boats to sail, and to flying kites, for flying kites. And the next important thing about the air is for breathing we are using it. When we are breathing in, we are taking inside air, and when we are breathing out, air will go outside. When we breathe in, we take air in. When we breathe out, we let air out. So that is another property of air. Then another question is that, is air have any weight? So if you are checking a ball, if it is filled with air and one more ball is there, that all the air is removed from the ball. Two pictures you can see. In this picture you can see a ball filled with air. In the first picture you can see the full air is removed from the ball. So both pictures we can see, if you are taking the weight of these two things, which will have more weight? Can you say the first one or the second one? Yes, the second one will have more weight because air is present inside the ball. So air has weight also. So today we studied some properties of air. Air have no smell, no color, no taste. Only we can feel it. And air occupies empty spaces. If there is any empty space is there, at that time it will occupy that space. Then air has weight. We use air to breathe. And when the air is moving, at that time it is known as wind. Moving air is known as wind. And moving air helps to dry clothes, boats to sail, and for flying kites. So only we can feel the air. So today we studied about air. Air is present everywhere. We cannot see it, only we can feel it. We need air to live. Clean and fresh air is good for health. Air occupies space, and air has no color, no taste, no smell. We can only feel it. And moving air is known as wind, and the wind helps to dry clothes and to fly for flying kites and for the sailing of boats. Then when we breathe in, we take the air inside, and we breathe out, we let air out. Air has weight. So these are the main things related to air. So next is homework. Name any two things that can be filled with air. Name any two things that can be filled with the air. Then write and study the spelling of the following words: glass, tire, balloon, presence, occupy, inflated, and breathe. So you have to write this one time in your notebook and write 10 times in your rough book. And you also have to read the lesson very well. Okay, thank you. We will see in the next class.